The night is quiet, but the drama, oh darling, it's never been louder. You may have forgotten all about your favorite nighttime soaps, but Miss Kane, she never did. She's been watching all the affairs, the betrayals, and the big hair, and now she's here to tell you everything you missed, or perhaps just forgot. This is Drama After Dark. Slip into something comfortable, and let's catch you up.
Don't just watch the scandal, darling. Subscribe and join the drama every Friday.
Alright, loves, I'm Miss Kane. And yes, I did watch these nighttime soaps as a kid. Back then, I didn't fully understand what I was seeing, but oh, I knew it was juicy. Now I'm all grown up and watching with fresh eyes, a sharper tongue, and a whole lot more perspective. And let me tell you, the drama hits different when you actually get the schemes, the shade, and the scandal. That's why I started Drama After Dark, to relive the chaos, call out the mess, and give these iconic shows the commentary they deserve. So go ahead and pour a drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it, shall we? Lord have mercy. It's early morning at some cheap motel, and then boys JR and Ray are just finishing up their little business trip. Oh sure, they came to sell cattle, but let's not pretend that's why they're creeping out of these rooms at dawn now, are we? JR's brushing himself off, Ray's grinning like the cat that got the cream, and two local ladies, Wanda and Mary Lou, are left snoozing in the sheets. Classy, Emmett. JR asks if Ray said goodbye, and Ray smirks like he's checking names off a to-do list. Honestly, these two are acting like they just wrapped up a double feature instead of a double date. And off they go, back towards South Fork, pleased as punch with themselves. Men. They storm through that motel like they own it, checking rooms till they land on Wanda and Mary Lou. Suddenly, those good time girls don't look so carefree now, do they? Frog grabs Wanda by the hair, smacks her around, demanding answers. Turns out Wanda ain't just some fling. Oh no, she's his wife who never made it home. And Peyton? He's backing him up. Meaner than a rattlesnake, I tell you. When they're done tossing accusations, Frick bends down, and what does he find on the floor? A little calling card, signed clear as day, J.R. Ewing. Braddock, Texas. Uh-oh. Looks like our cowboys left behind more than perfume and cigarette smoke. They left a trail, and these men are coming straight for South Fork. Now, at South Fork, Sue Ellen just floats on into Miss Ellie's room, carrying a tray of lunch that no one expects to be touched. Miss Ellie's curled up in bed with one of her migraines, weary but still ever so graceful, the matriarch even at her weakest. She waves off the food, but asks Sue Ellen to stay. Silence is almost as bad as the pain, she says, so she turns to conversation. And drops a gentle bombshell, darling. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop treating Pam as Digger's daughter and start treating her as Bobby's wife. Miss Ellie has decided Pam isn't a threat. She's an asset. She's good for Bobby, and by extension, good for South Fork. Sue Ellen, however, isn't buying it so easily. She leans on JR's words like a crutch, murmuring that he doesn't see it that way. Miss Ellie softens her tone, but the message is firm. JR is as stubborn as Jock, and that's no excuse to dig in when change is staring them right in the face. Sue Ellen nods, but you can see it. The polite smile, the hesitation, the discomfort. Miss Ellen may be ready for a truce, but Sue Ellen isn't crossing that line. Not yet, darling. The tension lingers in the room, heavy as the migraine itself. Well, the phone rings at South Fork, and wouldn't you know it, it's Bobby on the line. He's calm as you please, but the warning? Crystal clear, darling. A storm's brewing, and it ain't no drizzle. This could be a full-blown hurricane, love. Pam tries to play it cool. Born and raised in Texas after all. But Bobby knows better than that, doesn't he? Out here on the ranch, weather like this can turn deadly in a blink. His parting words? If JR and Ray aren't back within the hour, call him directly. Once Pam hangs up, you can cut the tension with a knife. Sue Ellen catches the word hurricane and stiffens right up. Maybe that's why JR hasn't come home yet. She immediately slips into command mode, slapping into the role of lady of the house. Radios on, windows checked, lamps and flashlights ready. And just in time, Lucy breezes in from school, sent home early because of the storm. But does she jump in to help? Not our Lucy, darling. She rolls her eyes, mocks Sue Ellen's orders, and mutters that no one made her boss. Honestly, Pam, caught between the two, has the sense to shut it down. She reminds Lucy that, like it or not, Sue Ellen knows how to prepare for a storm. And honestly, that's more than she and Lucy can claim. The ladies of South Fork may not be friends, but for now, survival demands teamwork. Back at the office, Bobby's ready to head home. Can you believe it? The storm's getting serious, the hands are gone, and JR and Ray still haven't shown up. Any reasonable person would be racing back to South Fork, wouldn't they? But Jock Ewing? Calm as ever, the man is. Like nothing's wrong. Instead of worrying about the hurricane, he's more excited about dinner plans with Punk Anderson and the old guard. He wants to brag about Bobby finally turning into the executive he always hoped he'd be. Bobby tries to remind him that this is hardly the night for celebrating. But Jock just waves it off. Storms don't rattle him, not when there's business and old friends waiting. So Bobby's caught in the middle again, torn between his father's steady confidence and his own growing worry that this storm isn't one to take lightly. Oh dear. Now, frickin' Peyton, they're closing in, driving down that country road, the one that leads straight to South Fork. And now, finally, we get to hear their little plan. They want payback. Frick, bless his heart, feels humiliated that his Wanda spent the night with JR, and he's dead set on evening the score. And how's he planning to do it? By going after JR's women. The rage is personal, you see, and Peyton? Oh, he's all too eager to play along. Back at the ranch, JR and Ray have just made it home. And JR, he just slips right back into his routine, barking orders about changing clothes and checking the livestock like nothing ever happened. He strolls into the house to find Sue Ellen, and she's relieved to see him. After his disappearing act, she presses him. Why no call last night? Why no word this morning? But JR, he brushes her off with that classic excuse. He was working late. And when she pushes again, he snaps. No time for chit-chat. He's got strays to round up. Cold as ice. And just as that marital frost settles between them, there's a knock at the door. Sue Ellen answers. And standing there are Frick and Peyton, spinning a story about being in trouble and needing to use the phone. She doesn't know it yet, but she's just let the storm into South Fork. And I don't mean the one blowing in from the Gulf. Oh, honey, the storm outside's carrying on something fierce. But inside, bless her heart, Sue Ellen's putting on a show, trying to be the perfect hostess. She's ushering Frick and Peyton in, offering up coffee and sandwiches like it's going out of style, and even gets little Lucy to lead Peyton to the fireplace to get a fire going. Now, here's where the tea gets hot. Lucy, that one, she can't help but turn on that little schoolgirl charm. She's smiling, teasing, leaning in a tad too close for comfort. And right in the middle of all that flirting, she spills the beans, tells Frick and Peyton exactly what they needed to hear. Seems the house is a bit short on fellas at the moment. Jock and Bobby are tied up at the office, and while Ray and JR are back from their cattle trip, they're off changing and heading back out to the pastures. Well, Frick and Peyton, they don't miss a trick. They play it cool, but you can see it in their eyes. This storm just handed them the perfect excuse, and Lucy's loose lips just handed him the whole darn playbook. Sue Ellen thinks she's got polite guests, but really, darling, they're wolves making themselves right at home in her living room. Now, Frick and Peyton, they're sitting in the living room, voices all low and edged, can you imagine? Peyton's cracking jokes like this is all some lark, but, oh honey, Frick ain't laughing. His eyes are hard. He's here for something serious, mark my words. And then Pam steps into the room, offering a polite hello, but there's hesitation in her tone. Bless her heart. These men don't belong here, and she feels it immediately, you see. The air shifts, neighborly on the surface, but oh so thick with unease, darling. Then Lucy enters right behind her. Bless her heart, practically glowing as she introduces them. This is Luther Frick and Peyton Allen, Aunt Pound. Their truck broke down outside and they're gonna lend us a hand. Isn't that nice? Oh, child. Pam smiles politely, but her eyes linger. She doesn't buy it, not for a second. There's something calculated in Frick's posture. Something too easy in Peyton's grin, you see. Peyton leans forward. Charm turned up just a little too high, if you ask me. Our pleasure, Mum. Truly, our pleasure. Pam holds her smile, but the suspicion is written all over her face. She's no fool. She knows danger when it walks through her door, doesn't she? Oh my heavens. The storm is closing in, darlings, with winds now reported at, would you believe, over 130 miles per hour. Waco's already taken heavy damage, the poor dears. And Dallas is, well, squarely in its path. At the Ewing offices, Bobby is restless, bless his heart. He wants that ranch on the phone, convinced he should be heading home. When JR answers, he assures Bobby that he and Ray made it back and are already working to secure the ranch. The sweet thing. Bobby offers to come, but JR warns. The roads are impossible, love. Better to stay put. Then JR adds a detail he sees as good fortune. A couple of strangers with car trouble showed up, and they've offered to help. Bobby takes it at face value, but oh, we know better, don't we? That so-called good luck might just be the real storm moving inside South Fork. Right then, all the men saddle up, heading out to round up cattle and horses for the storm tears through. Ray's on horseback and Peyton tags along, and Lucy, well, she just can't resist sneaking into the action. And JR, he stays dry, thank you very much, behind the wheel of that pickup, with Frick in the back. For a minute it almost looks like teamwork, doesn't it? But then Ray's horse spooks, thunder, wind, complete chaos, and Ray goes down hard. Flat in the dirt, leg busted, ego bruised. Of course, Peyton's right there playing savior. But don't be fooled, darling, he's not just lending a hand, he's taking notes. This storm has scattered the herd and left South Fork's defenses wide open. Lucy runs for JR, who finally drives in to haul Ray up into the truck. They get him out of the pasture, but the damage is done. One man down, and the wrong kind of company waiting for their chance. Oh dear.
The drama sparkles best when you're part of it. Subscribe and stay close, like a whispered secret. Leave a comment, tell us what has you gasping, because every scandal deserves an audience.
Back at South Fork, Sue Ellen slips into Miss Ellie's room again. She's trying to play the good daughter-in-law, fussing over Ellie's migraine. But honestly, Ellie won't be babied. She insists she's fine, though she admits the pounding in her head is nothing compared to the racket of the wind hammering the house. The two women share a rare moment of quiet, Sue Ellen offering careful concern, Miss Ellie brushing it off with her usual grace. But it doesn't last long now, does it? The sound of tires crunching on gravel cuts through the storm. A car has pulled up outside. Miss Ellie goes to the window and spots the men returning, and it looks like they're bringing Ray in, hurt. Suddenly, the storm outside doesn't feel half as threatening as the storm that's about to blow through this house. Lord, while everyone's carrying on about Ray's bum me, Frick and Peyton finally drop the pretense. The door slams, the lock clicks, and just like that, the Ewings are prisoners in their own living room. And yes, darlings, the boys came prepared. Those helpful strangers just pulled out guns. Peyton, who was eyeing Lucy earlier, isn't playing no games anymore. That grin's gone, and what's left is just dangerous. Lucy's not batting lashes now either. She's frozen, wide-eyed, finally realizing she's in way over her head. Ham, ever the diplomat, keeps her cool on the phone with Bobby. She smooths it over with a little chat about backgammon with JR, while Frick hovers inches away, listening with that gun in hand. She knows one wrong word could blow the whole charade right open. And Bobby, he hears just enough to know something's amiss. That quiet hesitation between her words says it all. The Ewings thought the hurricane outside was the real threat. But no, honey, the real storm is already brewing inside the house, and this one's armed. Now, Jock's settling in for the night, already dreaming about steak and bourbon with Punk Anderson and the old boys, bless him. He ain't worried about the storm or what's happening back at South Fork. No. Dinner plans are his priority, the silly old thing. But Bobby, oh, he's got a feeling, hasn't he? Pam didn't sound right on the phone. And the detail that tripped him up wasn't the storm. No, darling. It was her saying she was about to sit down with JR, of all people. Can you believe it? Backgammon was just the excuse. But let's be honest, Pam doesn't exactly scream backgammon champion, does she? Bobby pushes back, telling Jock he wants to go home. Jock calls him dramatic, like an old lady overreacting. But Bobby stands firm. Bless his heart. He can't shake the thought that something's off, and he's not about to ignore it, is he? Now here's where you know Bobby's a smart man. Pam talking casual about cozying up with JR. Baby, that's not the sound of a friendly game. That's the sound of a cover story, and Bobby's gut knows it, doesn't it? Lord have mercy. The storm outside is a fright, but honey, inside South Fork, the real drama's cooking, with Frick's big reveal. He looks JR dead in the eye and spills the tea. Wonder, the woman JR just spent the night with in Waco is his wife. Can you believe it? When she didn't come home, her husband and brother went looking and found her in a motel room with Mary Lou. And right there on the floor, one of JR's business cards, clear as day. JR tries to play it off, swearing he doesn't know any Wanda. But frickin' Peyton ain't buying it for a minute. They say Wanda told them she'd been kidnapped, taken to a motel, plied with liquor and assaulted. And JR, always the smooth talker, just shrugs like it's got nothing to do with him. The nerve. That's when all hell breaks loose. JR lunges. Frick drops him with a hit. Ray jumps in, but Frick smashes him right down on his bad leg. Cam tries to make a break for it, but Peyton catches her, and they struggle over his gun. And then, just like that, the chaos is shoved back into silence, everyone forced back into their seats. The tension's so thick, you could cut it with a knife, when Miss Ellie's voice calls from the bottom of the stairs. By the time she steps into the room, asking what's going on, the scene looks calm, but beneath that surface, every fuse in the place is already lit. Oh, this is gonna be good. Traffic's backed up something awful. The storm's snarling like a beast, and Jock's just about ready to call it a night. Bless his heart. Says they ought to be sensible, pull over, find themselves a nice hotel. But Bobby? Oh, he ain't having it. Wants to go on home, he does. That's when Jock starts to grumble, going on about how Bobby never used to be so stubborn, of all things. And Bobby, quick as a whip, fires back with a line that lands harder than the storm itself. I never used to be a lot of things, Daddy. Well, that just shuts Jock right up, don't it? With a sigh, he gives in. They'll push on, maybe even lend a hand clearing up the mess ahead. Oh, Bobby. Cool, calm, and throwing shade without so much as raising his voice. Now, that's how you let Daddy know you ain't the boy he raised anymore. You're your own man. Indeed. Now, back in the kitchen, Peyton just takes complete charge, doesn't he? Ray's limping in, bless his heart, with JR's help. And Peyton tells him to just sit himself right down. Then, he barks out for rope. JR tries to play it slick, says they don't have any. But Peyton ain't buying it, not for a second. He makes it crystal clear, find some. Peyton orders Ray tied up. JR even tries to throw himself in the mix, says he was part of the fight too. But Peyton shuts that down quick. He needs JR in the other room. And besides, Ray's the easy target with that bum leg. Ray grumbles, brings up Waco, says Peyton's got the story all twisted. Peyton doesn't care one bit. Mary Lou? He calls her a nobody. What matters is keeping Ray down. So rope it is. Pulled tight. Peyton's making sure there's no more surprises from the boys of South Fork. Oh, Miss Ellie, bless her heart, tries to stare Frick down, doesn't she? Reminds him this is Jock Ewing's house, and his family, and that whatever he's planning will come at a heavy cost. But, oh honey, Frick is just set on payback. Claims he wants to do to them what JR did to his wife. That's when Peyton pulls out the real dagger. A photo of Sue Ellen from her Miss Texas gory days. Oh, they just can't resist twisting the knife, can they? Leering at her, mocking her, calling her Miss Texas like it's some kind of game. Frick decides he wants to go look for that old banner and drags Sue Ellen off, leaving the rest of the room just sick with dread. Pam tries to reason with Peyton, but he couldn't care less about justice, could he? He sneers that JR and Ray were with Wanda and Mary Lou last night, and whether it was rough play or not doesn't matter to him. He just admits it flat out. Frick wants revenge, but him? He just wants to have a good time. And then Lucy, desperate to take the heat off herself, just blurts out Ham's old history with Ray. Peyton turns to Pam, probing for the truth. But Pam doesn't even flinch. She admits it, steady as ever. But in Peyton's mind, that confession puts her as one of them. That spares Pam, which leaves only Lucy, trapped, exposed, and now the prize Peyton intends to claim, the devil. Lord, Peyton is just about ready to put on his little show, and poor Sue Ellen is the star, bless her heart. She walks back in, draped in that old Miss Texas banner, with a bathing suit underneath, clutching a raincoat like it's her last shield. My stars. Peyton is just lapping it up, sneering about talent contests, demanding she sing like she did back in her pageant days. The nerve! And with Frick waving a gun and backing it up with threats. The cruelty isn't just in the words. It's in the performance they're wringing out of her, turning Miss Texas into their captive entertainment. Can you believe it? The tension in the room is just unbearable. JR is boiling, Miss Ellie is horrified, and Pam's just powerless to stop it. And Sue Ellen, desperate, embarrassed, fighting back tears, is cornered into doing the one thing she never thought she'd have to do. Sing for her life. Oh my! Out by that old busted truck. Bobby showing Jock the map like it's Exhibit A. Braddock circled in red. JR's business card tucked inside. Honey, that ain't no coincidence. Even Jock has to stop growling long enough to realize something's fishy. Meanwhile, back in the living room, Sue Ellen is Miss Texas in name only, draped in her sash, clutching that coat like her life depends on it. Whisper singing, people who need people. Frick's barking orders like some deranged pageant judge. And all JR can do is watch his wife be humiliated. Messy. But here comes Pam, cool, collected, and ready to stir the pot. She looks Peyton dead in the eye and reminds him of what he said. Wonder wasn't forced. She was just out for her usual good time. Oh, honey. You could feel the temperature drop. Frick's head whips around. Peyton starts stammering. And just like that, the brother-in-law bromance is circling the drain. And then Miss Ellie, migraine or not, delivers the dagger. Maybe the justice Frick's so hungry for isn't in the Ewing house at all. Maybe it's waiting for him back in his own marriage bed. Bobby may be the golden boy, but he ain't stupid. He senses something rotten. So he and Jock circle round to the back, and bingo! Ray's tied up in the kitchen, singing like a canary, guns in the living room, woman trapped. All hell's about to break loose. And inside, Peyton and Frick are cracking faster than Sue Ellen's smile at a family barbecue. Frick's snarling about Wanda, Peyton's whining about not getting what he came for. And you can see it. These two hyenas are ready to turn on each other. Then Peyton makes his move, grabbing Lucy, dragging her toward the stairs like she's some prize at the county fair, only to get blindsided. Boom! Bobby and Jock saw men like a Texas thunderclap. That showdown turns quick. The bullies are suddenly begging, and Jock got the shotgun steady enough to make them sweat. But here's the twist. Miss Ellie stops him. No cops, no headlines, no scandal. She knows dragging the circus into town would ruin them all, so Jock lays it down. Get out, and don't you ever show your faces here again. The aftermath. Lucy's shaken, Pam's trying to hold it together, and Bobby, well, Obby's just grateful his wife's still standing. And y'all, Pam's fire line. Cold steel, I'm alright now. Translation, not because the danger's gone, but because Bobby's finally by her side.
Well, wasn't that deliciously messy? Miss Kane walked you through the drama, and trust me, the secrets are just starting to spill. But don't think it's over, darling. There's always another scandal waiting in the shadows. This has been Drama After Dark. Until next time, we'll be watching. Will you?